Naresh Kumar, the promoter and MD of the company. Thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, for joining in with us this afternoon on ET Now. Let's just start by, for the benefits of our viewers, talk about the company's business model first and the present positioning of the company, as well as the products and segments you currently operate in.
Yeah, miss, thank you so much. Basically, we have started with a small company in a steel foundry. Now we have graduated into the full-fledged container manufacturing segment, sometimes in 2019. And from 2019, 19 and 20, we have lost due to COVID, but we are in the business fully with full stream from 2021. And from 21, 22, we manufactured 1,200 containers. And 21, 22, 23, we have manufactured around 2,100 containers. And in this financial year, we are doing very well. We have already manufactured around 2,000 containers in the factory, and still 5 months are left over for this financial year. In terms of financials, if we say from 2021-22, we have clocked around 49 crores, and 22-23 we have clocked 63 crores. And in this financially, we have already crossed 64 crores, and we will be crossing century this time, maybe much beyond century. And we are mainly in the manufacturing of the containers, all kind of containers like ISO containers, containers for the exports, and the special containers, which is our USP. We manufacture such containers which reduce the unit cost of transportation. Just as you might have heard about the dwarf containers, which are our patented containers. Then we manufacture containers, very heavy containers for the transportation of steel, enhanced capacity containers for general cargo. Then we have recently developed a hopper container for the bulk transportation of the wheat and rice and other food grain commodities. We are in the business of making universal containers. On one side, you can load the steel components. On the other side, you can load the general components. It has got a removable roof, which can be removed while loading the steel and which can be put on while loading the general cargo. Yes, please.
A very good afternoon to you, sir. Cheryl also joining in the conversation. And you just mentioned about your revenues. And if you look at your revenues, they've grown from about 49.45 crore rupees that was posted in FY21-22. It's risen actually to 63.27 crore rupees in FY22-23. It saw a very spectacular growth actually during that period. If you could actually add on more and tell us exactly what contributed to such a stellar growth coming in for your revenues?
Yeah, basically, prior to 2021, we were just a steel foundry and supplying the components to Indian Railways. And from 2029, we have entered into a new segment, which is the container segment. And the container segment has helped a lot. As you may be aware that this NRP, National Rail Plan, has got big plans for the container traffic. They have to increase their existing transportation of 1,500 million ton to 3,000 million ton. And this maximum incremental has to come from the containerized cargo, other than the bulk cargo. So there is a good scope that India needs a good amount of containers for the domestic transportation itself, and the export is the bonus for us.
Absolutely, sir. Good scope, not only in India, but even in the export market as well. Also, I just want to understand that, one, if you could highlight which are your key customers, as well as, how would you differentiate in terms of the company yourself versus your peers and competitors in the same industry?
Yeah, basically, as you may be aware that way back in 2006, Indian Railways has privatized this container business to the all private companies other than Container Corporation. So presently, there are 20 companies who have got the license to run their own container trains. So they are our customers. We supply these containers to these container train operators. And what makes us different from the other competitor is that we have got a great USP of providing solutions to the customers. Just like that, for the steel transportation, we have developed a very beautiful container which can carry 80 tons of steel. For the light and medium light cargo, we have developed a container called dwarf container, which has got low height container, which can be double stacked even under wire. And that is our patented container. By use of these, presently these are being used primarily by Reliance for the transportation of the plastic granules, which is a very light cargo. And this kind of equipment has given a lot of saving compared to even road. and good amount of cargo has shifted from road to rail. Similarly, we have produced one container which is called hopper containers, through which we can transport the bulk wheat or rice from the silos to silos. So there is no need of bagging the food grains. So it can directly go from one producing silos to the consuming silo through rail in bulk condition.
Right,
So we
sir.
provide solution to our customer.
Right. Let's talk about some of the government initiatives that will actually impact your business. Also, if you could talk about the PLI scheme that the government is discussing about currently.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I have been part of discussion in the Government of India regarding this PLI scheme, and we have presented our case to Ministry of Commerce, and they have even sent us the letter of appreciation that we are doing good work in this. Basically, idea was that container is such a thing which is primarily used for the export import of the cargo. So as the export and import activities in India are growing, so there is a good amount of need of the containers in India itself. The idea is that earlier this at present almost 95% of the containers are being produced in China. So when the COVID came and people have got allergy to the Chinese companies and all these things, so they started looking for the China Plus policy. So we also got benefited out of that. Last year we exported around 400 containers for a Russian shipping line, and they are very happy with our services, and we are in constant touch with them, and they are very happy with our product also, the quality wise and the strength wise. So we have been trying. We want to use this China Plus policy of other countries.
So I'm going to come back to the IPO, right? And your RHPO mentioned about the fresh equity issue as well. And obviously, how are you utilizing the funds? What is the plan over there in terms of the fund usage now?
Yeah, thank you so much. Basically, the idea is that as we are growing, we have plans that this year we may be crossing more than 100 crores, and in next 3-4 years we may be crossing the 200 crores mark top line. So for that, we primarily require the working capital to sustain this kind of business. So the primary use of these IPO proceeds will be for the working capital requirement.
Also, let me I spoke about, or rather asked you about your revenue numbers, but also your PAT. What a spectacular rise actually. Your PAT also has seen in the similar time frame, approximately 586% uptick that it has seen in the span of 2 to 3 years. What's the improvement, or rather what's the reason for this improvement in your PAT numbers as well, alongside of your revenue numbers?
Yeah. Basically, there are 2-3 main reasons. So in 2021, we are new manufacturer of the containers. And so at that point of time, the steel costs were very low. Because of the COVID, the requirement was not as much. So we are quoted as per the lower cost of the steel. And there was no price variation clause with the customers. So within 2-3 months, the steel prices have risen from say 61, 62 to almost 100 rupees. So our margin got substantially hit because of this increase in raw material cost during 21-22. But while the situation, as you may be aware, Government of India has put 15% export duty on the steel exports. So from there, the steel prices have started to smoothen out. So we got benefit of that soothing of the steel prices, and other raw material also follow the steel prices. So we got good margin in 22-23. Secondly, we have got increase in capex also, and as you that revenue also. When you grow your revenue, your overheads costs comes down substantially. And most of the activities which we are doing through outsourced vendors, we have started our own. So there is a lot of saving on that account also.
Absolutely, surely a lot of triggers coming in for the company. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in with us this afternoon on ET Now, giving us an understanding on the company, and good luck for your IPO as well.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. But on that note, viewers, we're going to sip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more updates after.